Take a look at this story from the Daily Caller. The prosecutor in the Rittenhouse trial says, you lose the right to self-defense when you're the one who brought the gun. A major component of this trial. This is not about Kyle Rittenhouse in the bigger picture. It is about your right to keep and bear arms. Now, I will say, when you look at constitutional carry, gun rights have been winning. But this is a major assault on the culture around it. We can win in the courts. We can win in the legislature. But if they can set precedent that if you bear a gun, you are always the provocateur, always the instigator, and never entitled to self-defense. That's the argument being played here. If the jury sides with the prosecution, you will start hearing attempts where they say, in the case of the State v. Rittenhouse, the jury found that if you're bringing a weapon to a fist fight, you are provoking, blah blah blah. I'm probably getting this a bit wrong. I'm not a lawyer, so maybe that context isn't correct. Maybe it's precedent has to be set from a judge or something like that as a question of law. The point is, they're trying to make a cultural moment occur where Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty simply because he brought a gun. Now, mind you, the question's been answered. The judge, this was the most amazing moment. I was screaming. I was like, yes. The judge said to the prosecution, as a question of law, because that's what the judge deals with, the charge, count 6, on illegal possession of a deadly weapon by a person under 18. He is exempt because he was 17. He looks at the prosecution and said, can you prove the rifle he had was under 26 inches? And Kraus goes, it was not under 26 inches. And the judge goes, count 6 dismissed.
Nice.
It was not an illegal weapon.
I think 16 inches is the correct length because if it's
15.9,
15.9,
it's 26
that's
overall.
when it's, yeah.
So barrel length is 16, 26 overall, I believe, or it might be 32. I'm not sure. The point is, the judge definitively said, dismissed. The law is not that complicated, in my opinion. It says, if you are under 18 and in violation of these provisions, which state you're under 16 without a permit, you're under 14 without a guardian or whatever, or you're hunting without a certificate. Okay, well, Kyle Rittenhouse is not violating any of those statutes. 17-year-olds are allowed to bear only rifles and shotguns. Kyle Rittenhouse said he knew he couldn't have a handgun. But I want to get back to the main point here that we need to make sure we're paying attention to. If Kyle Rittenhouse loses, they have that argument. They will use it. It will become culture, and law is meaningless in the face of culture. I've pointed this out many times. You guys all understand this. There are laws like you can't put an apple pie on your windowsill on Tuesday. Those laws still exist. They're archaic, and no one will ever enforce them. Why? Well, it would be absurd because culturally, we don't do that anymore. But the law's there, and they could get you. Now, the problem, would a jury really convict you of an 1800s pie law or something like that? Give you a fine? I doubt they would. But this is what's important. If culture emerges where in the media, in all of our institutions, if you have a gun, you are considered an instigator in any capacity, you will never be able to use a gun to defend yourself. They will always convict you.